Welcome back, everybody, to the Barbells and Trails podcast. I'm your host, Brett, back with another episode 56, I believe, and here we are yet again. I got a guest. I told you I'm dragging her along all summer, but we're back. I did admit I did miss a week. I did miss an episode. I've done that twice now this year, which is kind of sad. So I don't know if eventually I'm just gonna make it up and say hell with it and post two, whenever I can make it up. But I do feel bad. But the past weeks, I mean, not been super busy, but it just I lost track of time. And
time goes by so fast.
Yeah, I mean, this weekend, I'm trying to think what we did this weekend, but this weekend seemed to go by so quick. And then, not only that, I dealt with heat rash, something. I don't know. I think it's heat rash.
I would consider it heat rash.
But it was, yeah, I mean, knock on wood, but probably the worst thing I've ever dealt with so far. Not painful wise, but mentally just can't get it out of your head. It's almost like a schizophrenic thing where you're literally in your head. You're sitting there. My back just itched like crazy for about 4 days, where it was almost uncontrollably itchy. Itching it didn't necessarily it felt good, but didn't satisfy it because it was continual. And then when you stopped, it was almost painful to stop because that urge was right there. But yet the only way for it to go away is to basically just focus and not fuck with it. It was the worst mental weightlifting I've done in a while.
Mm-mm.
It was not fun.
I couldn't have done that. I would have gone mad.
I felt like I was someone with schizophrenia. It was you guys don't understand how bad. I want to itch so badly that my skin's coming off. It was one of those feelings. And the worst part was it was also on my back. If it was somewhere right here, oh no, easy. I wouldn't give a shit at that point. I'd be my arm's red. I don't care. But it was rough. I did play two games of golf last weekend, now that I think about it.
Did you?
Yeah. I played a lot recently.
I remember one.
I played 2 18s in a week.
Oh,
and a 9. That's a lot. I've been playing a lot of golf recently. I need to set golf clubs. I think I need golf clubs, but you didn't golf with us on my birthday because that's the thing, we haven't recorded in a minute. My birthday happened. I'm old. I'm 22.
Wait, I thought we recorded after your birthday. Has it really been that long?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what we even did
for your birthday. I made you breakfast.
Oh yeah. We went and watched. Oh, we could talk about the machine. Well, yeah. So my birthday was May 27th. What did I do that day? Bailey made me breakfast. Made 20 fucking eggs. Came home from the gym and there's just a bucket full of eggs on the fucking counter. I was like, "What are we, a restaurant?" She's like, "You said you eat 16 at a time." I'm like, "Who the what? Who the fuck do you think
I could have swore you said 16. So
more like 6. 6. Big difference. It reminds me of Cool Hand Luke, old movie where they what was it, daring him to eat 50 deviled eggs or something. Not deviled eggs, hard boiled eggs.
I'm just used to at work we do everything in bulk, so I just fucking go for it. I don't know.
It was a little much. You should have stopped. I don't know. Even at 16, that would have been a better place to stop.
And guess what? You've still fucking ate it all.
We ate most of it. I ate most of it. And bacon. Bacon was good. And then you were like, "Wait, you don't eat turkey bacon no more?" I'm like, "No, not really."
Yeah, I don't know. I still had it in my head that you were eating turkey bacon, so I specifically I was thinking about real bacon, but I was like, no, he uses turkey bacon. So I got turkey bacon, and then you're like, "Why'd you get turkey bacon? I don't eat that." I was like, "Are you fucking shitting me?"
I mean, I don't really. Not anymore. That was just something Mom did, and not saying it was a bad choice, but yeah, there's less fat.
Bacon.
It's there's not a problem. Mom cut out fucking red meats from our diet, and there's really not anything bad about red meats.
Now?
Yeah. That's why she changed to turkey and fucking chicken all the time. You didn't realize that? That's why she stopped. She stopped using
But
hamburger.
she eats hamburger now.
She does, but she stopped cooking with it like years ago.
Well, yeah.
When did we ever have like hardly hamburgers ever? Do you remember that? Never had steaks. Never had hamburgers. We had pork chops more than we ever had beef. Which
True.
I feel like
I feel like we had pork chops like once a week.
and I feel like pork's the worst option out of the two. Me personally, like even meat wise, I prefer steaks over pork chops, unless it's a really really good pork
I've
chop.
never had steak. Like really had a steak.
Oh, steaks are good. They're good.
I
But-
just like. I guess I never. I mean, I knew that that's what she cooked with. But
Yeah, you never thought about it. That's why. Because think about it, that would have been what 7 years ago
But
now.
why randomly though? Because has it helped?
No. But that was like the fad at the time was like red meat. You can't eat it. Beef's bad for you. Like think about that was right about that time. That was like, oh, beef is killing you. That's why we have cancer. No, it's not. But so
Wow.
you did that.
We did something else before we went to the movies.
I went to the gym.
Oh,
You
you guys
made
went
breakfast.
golfing.
I went golfing, played 18 with Kelvin. I need to get Kelvin on. I'll be honest, I feel awkward asking him to come on here. Like you, I can just like kind of force because at the moment you're living in my house. But like I feel awkward trying to get like Kelvin on or Freddie on, even though I think they would do like I think it'd be cool to have them on.
I think they do it.
I think they would. I don't think they care, but also coming over and that's just kind of awkward because if we come over, we'll kind of bullshit and then it's like. So you ready to go to my studio? Like I don't know.
Don't say it
like you want to come in and record with me? Like it just seems a little kinky. Like I don't know. Like it's just yeah, I don't know why. I think I overthink it more than they do.
Yeah. I think it would be fine.
I think
I
it would
think
be.
they would both do it.
But so I played golf. I sucked. I got my worst hole yet. I got a 15 on my 18th hole, and then I got my worst hole yet again. Less than a week later, I got 19 on the 9th hole. It was a rough golf week, that's for sure. But we did that. Came back, swam, did all this stuff,
Swam,
and then
dinner.
dinner. You made me dinner as well, and a cake. Like it was kind of wild that you did everything, and I did appreciate it a lot. It was very nice of you. I don't know if you would want me to cook for you. Not that I'm a bad cook, but like I feel like you would like judge me really hard if I cooked for you.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like you would judge
I'm
me.
not a fucking food critic. I don't know what I'm doing
I
either.
feel like you would judge me harder than I would judge you because I'm just like food nice. Like
Do you see me? I think the same thing.
I know, but like you even asked me like, so how was it? I was like, it's good. I'm eating more.
Like that's just anybody that cooks knows they always are like, oh, is it good? Is it bad?
I know, but
Is
you
it...
also made so much pasta too.
Okay.
We had like
I
a
always
bucket
do
of
that.
pasta.
Oh my god.
But that was also opening weekend for Bert's movie, The Machine. So that was like kind of on my bucket list for the past 3 months after it was like officially announced to go see it because I was like, oh shit, that's on my birthday weekend. Like we gotta go, and so I forced you to go, and we got Calvin and his girlfriend to go. What did you think of the movie? Like we kind of talked about it.
Good. I just didn't really think it was that comedic. Is that the right word to use? I didn't think it was that comedic. It was more like family oriented than I thought it was going to be, and there was like a lot of like more emotional like scenes than what I thought there would be.
Yeah.
But I think the main surprise was it really wasn't that comedic in my opinion.
I mean, it was at times, but it was not what I necessarily expected.
There was like there was jokes in it obviously.
I don't know,
there
for some reason because I know Bert so well, I thought it was just going to be more of a almost like a stoner comedy with guns. I don't know. Like I just that's kind of what I expected in my head. So and it ended up for me even being a lot more action than I was expecting. With certain stuff. But then at the same time, like you said, it was very like a more emotional, family oriented too.
It was kind of like I didn't know what to expect. Like it was action, family based, a little bit of comedy. Like it was everywhere.
It was good though. I mean, like, and I did like being someone that watches his podcast and kind of knows how he is. that he kind of took aspects of his own life, like with the thing with his daughter and like embarrassing her, and literally knowing that he's talked about saying too much in the public eye in real life, saying that his daughters are kind of embarrassed that like some of her stories and stuff she's done is stuff her dad talks about a lot, and is kind of what made him famous and made him a lot of money. But hey, if you're ever that's how they're paying their rent. They're getting stories, and that's creating their dad's career. But so like it was kind of cool they kind of wrapped that in to it, and even like in real life, like how much he drinks, like that was kind of weird that was like a serious thing where he's like, I'm trying not to drink because this had like it was kind of weird. It had a lot of serious points to the movie, but I did really like it.
Did you see their pod for Two Bears in One Cave podcast after the premiere that he cried because Tom showed up and stuff?
Yeah,
because he didn't think he was going to or something.
Yeah, I saw Tom's like short TikTok, whatever he made, and in general, I was like, well, that's kind of cool because I didn't know he wasn't gonna go, and I was like, I would be kind of upset too. I'd be like, really, like.
Because I remember, the clip that I saw was like, oh, I was asking people, all day, wondering where you were because I wanted you there.
Well,
and then
no, because in the back of his mind, he thought he was gonna actually surprise him. Like he's like, oh, I think Tom's gonna show up and surprise me, because he's like, I do that all the time, and I think people are just gonna surprise me with shit. And he's like, then I get disappointed because it doesn't happen, And then he got to a point where he was like comfortable with him not being there, and then he did show up.
Yeah.
And he was like, I just broke down. And even Tom said that you can't see it because he was wearing sunglasses in the video, but he's like, I was tearing up too. Like it was, but I don't think with how it talked about was like, Tom never realized how emotional it was for him, like how much it meant for him, how much it meant for Bert for Tom to be there. Because Tom's like, I would never want to invite people to like stuff like this because I would feel like I'm being a burden. So I would just not want to invite someone. If they did come, I'd feel bad that you had to show up to it.
Yeah.
And like Bert's more like, no, like I want to make this a thing. I want to make this a memory. Like kind of like I want you to be there and like supporting me. So it was kind of cool to see that. And they actually kind of talked it out on both their sides because they knew some people were probably like, damn, was there shit like hitting the fan? Like,
yeah,
he wasn't gonna show up to his thing, and so they kind of talked through it. So that was cool. I also found out that apparently the main Russian character, I can't remember her name.
The blonde
I can't remember
one?
I can't remember her name in the movie or her name in real life, obviously, because I don't know her. But apparently they actually had a kissing scene.
Oh, and
originally,
and it got deleted.
Yeah, the whole segment got cut out. And so he kissed two other women in this movie.
Oh, Leanne has.
I did like how she cameoed. That was awesome. Yeah. But yeah, no. Apparently that got cut out. But it's also, I mean, it's done decent in the box office. It's about at 9 million now, so not bad. Especially, I don't think it had like, for what it was, it wasn't like a ridiculous budget. So. And let alone once it ever ends up on streaming and stuff, like, I think it'll do well. I honestly think if it was more, I feel like it was like we've talked. I feel like if it was more of a just comedy, it would have done better.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Because I think we haven't had any really really funny movies in a while. That's like, oh, if one came out, like I would probably go watch it again, depending on what it was.
Yeah.
That's why I am looking forward to.
Because I was just like, because there was like some funny moments that like everybody in the theater would like laugh out loud. But that one guy that was like
Mark
behind,
Hamill?
that was like behind us in the theater, that was laughing at like the dumbest shit. And he had the weirdest laugh. I was just like,
I don't know if I was paying attention.
Oh, I was like, what is happening? Like nothing would happen. It could have been a serious scene, and he would be like, and it was like, I can't even. I wish you were like paying attention and heard his laugh.
I just pay attention to movies when I'm in the movie theater. I'm just like locked in. I'm like, this is it.
I mean, yeah, I was paying attention to it too, but I pay attention to everything. So.
But no, so it was good. That's why I'm like so curious about whenever they make Fat Astronauts, him and Tom. Cause I'm like, those two together.
I feel like it's gonna have to be way more comedic.
Oh, it is. 100%. I think it's gonna be absolutely ridiculous, especially who they have writing on the show. for the movie, like everything. I think it'll be like awesome. Like
Yeah.
I think it'll be really good. I'm like, I want a stupid comedy. We haven't had a stupid comedy with like any well-known comedians in a while. Like, when was the last time like Kevin Hart even came out with a movie? Would it have been the one with Mark Wahlberg like last summer or whatever the hell it was called? On Netflix. I can't remember what it was called though. But it's like I think that would have been the last one he's done.
I don't know.
What was the last Will Ferrell comedy? Like, it's been a while for like some of those, and it's like I kind of miss it. Like, I just watched Talladega Nights for the first time all the way through, like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, and yeah, it's outrageous. Of course, like it's ridiculously stupid, but that's also what's funny about it is it's so outrageous.
Yeah.
We haven't had one of those in a while. Like,
I couldn't think of one.
and so yeah, exactly. So I'm like, have you ever watched Tropic Thunder all the way through? I don't even know if you've ever seen it.
I've heard of it. Explain it to see. Like,
I mean, a lot of big names like Robert Downey Jr., Jack Black.
What's the plot of the movie?
They're trying to film an action war movie in Thailand, Vietnam. I don't totally remember where they are. They end up getting caught up in heroin cartel that's out in this jungle, and then it turns into real shit. So they're actors in the jungle thinking they're filming a movie, and then they end up wrapped up with real life shit.
I think I've obviously heard of the movie, and I think I don't think I've
like,
ever
who
watched
else is
it, but I've like
I think
known all
not
that.
Brad Pitt. Tom Cruise plays a character in it, but he's like wearing like a prosthetic bald head, like all sorts of
Oh my gosh.
like really ridiculous cast, but it's just absolutely hilarious. The people that wrote that is what's writing Fat Astronauts for Bert and Tom. So, I'm curious to see what like happens.
I hope
with
it
that.
does come out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it will, but I don't think it will be till like next summer at the earliest. And that's the thing that sucks about certain things in life, that some things do take time. But
Oh, you got really.
yeah.
I was
Yeah, you got really. Yes, I did. But yes, I don't know. Like, what else did we do? So yeah, so we've been using the pool. Like, summer's here. I got sunburnt. I got heat rash.
And then
Dying on the
Sunday you
inside.
swam too.
Yeah, like
Played pool.
and Monday, Memorial Day.
Like Sunday we had like
drinking,
people
like
over.
whatever. Yeah, we had people over. Like, there's a bunch of shit. People threw up at my house, so that was interesting. And then last weekend people were over in the pool. I don't know. There's just a lot going on. I'm trying to.
I feel like it's not a lot with us. It's a lot with everybody else.
It's everybody else, and we just kind of get wrapped into it.
Especially since the pool is here.
Yes, exactly. But
Which
I do want.
Sorry, continue.
You're good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I wonder what we're gonna do in a couple weeks when there's gonna be a shit ton of people here.
Don't
Are we
remind
locking
me.
the door?
I might be going on vacation.
I mean, I might have to work, but I'm saying when I come home, I want to be able to park in the driveway and get into the house.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell how that's gonna happen. I forgot about that, so don't remind me about it. But I missed a wedding.
That was only a couple days ago.
Yeah, I do feel really bad about it. Like, when Freddie told me, like, you have no idea how, like, I just was like, no, I did not. I was like, don't even. Like, I thought he was fucking with me. I was like, dude, don't fuck around. Like, don't tell me I did that. Like, because I was so upset at myself when he said that.
Have you reached out to him yet?
I haven't yet. And when he said that, I was
just say genuinely, like, be honest, be like, I totally, like, mess up the day, I forgot.
yeah.
Like, don't be like, oh, I was doing something, like.
I wasn't. Well, no, I wasn't, really. Like, I really wasn't. So, it was just so, like, out of nowhere, I was just like, oh, holy shit. Like, I thought it was a week or two away. So, I knew it was this month. I knew it was coming up.
That's why you should have kept looking.
I thought it was at the end of January. Or what? What month is it?
June?
End of June. It was at the fucking beginning. It was the first weekend.
I haven't seen any pictures either.
It's on Facebook, but
Oh, I don't have Facebook.
So
I wonder
I
what
do
her
feel
dress
bad.
looks
So
like.
I need to reach out and I need to send some gift and a card and stuff and just apologize because that was my bad. Like take them out to dinner. I don't know, like something. Like take them out to Benihana's. I don't even know if there is a Benihana. I don't. It's a Japanese thing.
Oh,
Like a hibachi
it's like
grill.
I've
I don't know.
never heard of that.
Old, very 2000s restaurant. But yeah, just a lot of bullshit. I actually plan. I haven't told you this, but I think I want to do another fundraiser like I did last year. I raised $1,000. I basically raised $800 because I put in $200 myself because I just wanted the number to at least cross 1,000. So I was like, here's a little more.
Oh my god.
Well, my goal was $5,000.
Yeah, I know.
So, but I think I might do it in July. I think I might do it next month. So I'll be on. I'll tell you guys now, like you right there. Please, if you have made it this far into the podcast, subscribe. Listen to it on Spotify. I need to try running up my Spotify viewers, honestly. Like just for metrics. Like I just don't have a lot of people listening on Spotify. So I don't know. Just listen however you do. Subscribe, like, please. Comment whatever you're thinking down below. Even if you don't like it, I really don't care. Comment it. But I want to, like, in the next month, like, I'm probably going to be doing stuff this weekend. And I plan on, it's going to be a fucking headache. But I plan on making a shit ton of shorts. And just making as many as possible. Like, I want to make a month load. Just
be able to have them
be ready. And then I'm going to keep making them. So eventually I'm just going to have a backlog of a bunch of shorts. But I want to do the next month, basically, before the fundraiser. I want to do the next month. I need to start posting on my business accounts now. More for realtor stuff, like retweeting stuff, sharing articles. Like, just stay active, talk about the industry, talk about what's going on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, like all of it. I need to be active on all of it, let alone with the podcast. Because if I do shorts and I post stuff on Instagram, like I actually use this stuff for Instagram, which I haven't really done yet. Like I actually need to go back through. I could probably use some of the old shorts on Instagram. I don't think I used them all.
I think you could.
I know I have to go back look. But like I need to do stuff like that because I want to do that the next month. End up making that a normal thing, like a routine, because I want to grow on all these things to help my business, to help the podcast, whatever, to kind of spread my network a little bit. And I also want to do that for the next month to hopefully grow to help promote the fundraiser next month. Because I wanted to make it a yearly thing. And I'm like, fuck, it's already been 7 months. I was like, let's do it again. So I think I technically have more of a network now with more people than I did even at that point last November. So I'm hoping I could raise a decent amount of money, but I want to do that to even try pushing it out to more people. Like even last year when I think about this, when I posted this stuff on the podcast and everything, then I think at the time I would have been at like 30 subs. I'm at 85 now. And if I do shorts the next month, I should break 100 subs. I should easily break 100. I feel like I should fairly easily break 100 followers on both Instagram and for both accounts, my podcast and business one, because they're already both at like 50. The business one just fucking popped up like 2 weeks ago. I'm already at like almost 100 followers on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at you go.
I haven't done anything. People are just like, I think I know that guy. And they're like,
I recognize him.
Friend request. I know his mom. Like, I don't know.
His
like,
grandma's my friend.
Yeah, right. That's Facebook. Like, I feel like it's the most like networky social media, and that's why I did so well. Was because like, oh, I know that person. They know this person, so I might know him. Like, let me add him. Like, that's 100% what it is.
I don't have Facebook,
so I think my goal is still gonna be $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
I at least hope I can break 1,500. If I can beat my last thing. Or is 5,000 too high? I don't know. I just said fuck it last time, even though the likelihood was really low. It's just like, I'm gonna try.
I mean, you can always shoot for a lower number, and then if you get higher.
Yeah. Well, that's true, but like, I don't want to
Or
shoot
maybe
too
bring
low
it
because I feel like it looks
down
bad.
a little bit and do like
2,500
3,000 or 25.
Yeah, I feel like that's reasonable. Might be able to do it, especially if I try actually telling more people about it. Because my family didn't help. I was like, my family didn't even put money
Hey,
into it.
I was a broke college kid, but I still put a few dollars in.
Mom actually put, I think, 100. I think because she felt bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, didn't you ask that to be your Christmas present?
Oh, that was why. That was part of it. Otherwise, she
Mm.
would not have done it. I was thinking about this. I kind of, because I was just thinking about it. I was like, you know what? This is really cool. Like, I was looking at my like giving history, and like I started donating to them when I wasn't making much money. Technically, I've not upped it to stay equivalent to how much I should be giving compared to like what I was making at the time.
Mm.
Which I do think I'm making a budget now, and I do think that I'm probably gonna up it because if there's anything I'm gonna put more money into, it might as well to fucking bring clean water to people around the world. Like, I don't fucking need money that bad. Like, help someone fucking live. And so, but it's like out of the money, I've donated almost $2,000, and I've raised like 800, and that's estimated giving clean water to about 70 people. And so I'm like, that's pretty fucking cool. But it's like, I wish I could literally go to like my grandparents' phone and be like, all right, setting you up an account. I'm putting in your fucking bank details, and I'm forcing you to donate like just $5 a month. I don't give a shit. Like, it's $5. You don't need $5 a month. You buy enough Starbucks. Like, calm down, grandma. Like, $5
They
a month.
haven't been.
Oh,
since
sure.
she changed her diet.
Really? Well, I need to talk to her about that. But I'm just saying, like, because it's like I was doing 2 charities. I was doing $50 a month, and I was on a very good month. You know where I was working, the Chocolate Moose down in Brown County. On a very good month, working probably 55 hours a week, and getting like really good tips and being busy where I'm working like doubles and trying to get a lot of hours. Like, a very good month was $1,000 a month take home. And so,
But I mean, for the chocolate mousse, that's pretty good.
that's not bad. But I mean, that's only $250 a week. Like, think about it. That's not.
I mean,
that's not a
yeah,
lot.
but a lot of the kids that worked there were high schoolers.
Well, true. I wasn't, and I didn't have a lot of bills. But I'm just saying, I was donating $50 then, and like there for a while, I forgot, and that's why like last year I was like, oh shit, I need to up that. Like, I was like, I feel bad. I was like, I've been donating. Oh, I forgot. I should have upped it because I can afford more. That's why I upped it where I have now. And I'm like, I about want to do it again just because I should.
Mm.
And so I was like, I think that's cool that even at 18, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm not making a lot of money, but you know what? I want to give it $25 a month. Like, I guess there is.
I don't think we realize how privileged we are until we see
Yeah, no,
how
for sure.
people struggle for daily access to water, food, shelter.
And when you actually pay attention to where your money goes to, you realize you're like, oh, I don't need to buy money. Like, spend money there. Buy money. I don't need to buy money. But like, that's what I'm about to do now. Like, I'm finishing up my budget. I've been working on that and going through all my stuff because I'm trying to actually get back on top of my finances because I had let it slip for a while, and I'll own it that I just fucking slacked. But I'm also disappointed in myself for letting it slack. So it's like, I'm gonna own it. I fucked up. But at the same time, I want to get a handle back on it. And when I do, I'm like, okay, like, yeah, why do I need to, how many times did I go out to eat last month? Fuck, like, yeah, go out to eat every once in a while, but there's times, like, with the Mexican, like, how much, for what reason, and that was how much every time? Holy shit, that adds up really fucking fast.
Imagine being our neighbor twice a day.
Yeah. Well, like, today I spent, for lunch, and this is the last time I'm doing it, because I don't plan on doing it tomorrow. I think I'm gonna start either fasting and just not eating lunch, or I'll bring lunch again. Like today I went to a place and I went to Wilson's and I spent
I was like, where did you go?
$14 or something. So like that adds up quick. Or like if I get something at Titus, like whatever, like it adds up very, very fast. And so it's like, man, if I'm doing that every now and again, I like, what would I rather do? Give $25 for that or eat out? Like, it's basically like you give up one, like at that point, it's like you give up one, like night out, or not night out, but one dinner out to eat to try giving someone clean water. So I'm like, oh, well, that's a lot more worth it, I feel like. Like, my head.
And, like, from me, like, when it comes to, like, when you say instead of, like, eating out, making food, since I've been doing that, I, like, am not eating out. And
I am. I've
like,
probably ate out worse the past month than I have in a while.
I'm, like, making food and trying to, like, obviously there was a week where I didn't make food, but I didn't eat that week.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I don't know where I was going with it.
Yeah.
I just blanked what I was trying to say.
I mean, I think I kind of
like,
know what you're trying to say.
I'm meal prepping, but then that helps me not eat the food that I used to eat and craved. And then the other day, what did I do? I went somewhere and I got something and I just didn't like it anymore.
I told you. You didn't want to believe me. You were like, oh, dark chocolate's nasty. And it's like when you start eating dark chocolate, or that's the only sweet thing you have for a while, like, you learn to appreciate it and you love dark chocolate.
I'm typically not a sweet person, but recently...
Yes, you are. We always have been.
Not really. Compared to, like, you and Dad, when we were younger, I
like
really wasn't a sweet person. I was more of a salty, like, savory person. But recently,
I definitely lean sweet.
Recently, in the past couple weeks, I've just been craving sweets. Like, a cookie. I don't fucking know. I just want it.
Well, that's not good.
I know. I haven't ate it, but I want it.
I've ate it. I definitely gained back a little weight. I'm like, damn it. But it's a struggle.
Okay, I felt good the other day because my boss said, oh, you're looking skinnier. I'm like, I don't think I've lost a pound, but thank you.
Yeah. Well, like, for me, I don't know. Like, Brian actually broke down my psychology a little bit today. He's like, you always got a lot running through your head. And I think the reason why you talk it out so much is because it helps you stay on track. And I was like,
yes.
Yeah.
That is 100%.
That's 100% me. It is.
I don't say it. I just say it in my brain.
I do both.
I don't say it out loud at all.
I'll talk to myself. Like,
I want to start.
I don't talk to myself, but that's weird.
I want to start journaling, so it's like out of my head and like down on paper.
I know what you mean. Like, I was telling him, I was like, I need to structure myself, because I was like, when I got structure, a challenge, something, like, I stick to it. I have the discipline to do it, but it's like when I don't have that structure, I don't have that routine, it's so fucking hard to get back into it. And then when I fall out, it throws me for a whirl. But it's like, if I have a pretty normal routine and I stick to it, I'm doing good. Like, I'm losing weight. I'm sticking to a diet. I'm tracking all my shit. I'm going to the gym. I'm doing all this other stuff. Like, I posted shorts for a month, like, every day, and that did really well. It's like, I should have kept doing that, but it was like, I want to do a month. And then after the month was over, I was like, haha. It just, like, stopped. Or we did the push-up thing, and it's like, I fucking did it.
Oh my God, I forgot we even did that.
Yeah. It is like,
that was probably the hardest I worked for something, if I'm being honest. Like, physically for myself, I was surprised that I stuck with it. I was like,
I stuck with it because I kind of like those challenges, and I think when I kind of put myself to a task, well, when I put myself to a task, I want to get it done. But half the time when I'm like whimsy nilly, kind of like the podcast, being like, I was talking to him about it today when I'm in the back of my head, or I'm talking to you. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do the podcast.
I think I do stuff at that all the time. I'll be like, oh, I need to make a list for groceries. I need to do this, and then I get home and I'm like,
you don't do it.
I'm so
You're
tired.
on TikTok. Don't lie.
Sometimes, but recently I just want to sleep. I could have been to bed tonight as soon as I got home from work.
Full-time job. See how it is.
Plus a part-time job, yeah.
Yeah, but so that was one thing we talked about, was like, it's like, I'll talk about it and be like, oh, I need to do this for the podcast, or I need to work on this, or I need to do that. It'll be in my head. I'm like, oh, I should. And then I get caught on my phone, or I get caught on something else, or we'll talk. And then next thing I know, I was like, well, there went a half hour. I should have been doing something else. Mm-hmm. Or mom talks, and then I get caught for an hour and a half, and I can't do anything.
Or like a lot of time, like for school, I'm the type of person that I have to write list. Like, I have to be like, okay, this homework assignment, this homework assignment. And even if I don't do it at that moment, I have to be able to eventually check it off. Like, that's me. I have to mark it off. Done. And then that's when I'm like, once I start marking off, I'm like, okay, I'm getting more accomplished.
Well, that's the thing, like, I realized I think I did like about tracking my finances a little bit originally. It's like, one, I didn't have a lot of expenses, so it made it simpler. Two, you like seeing the numbers go up. And I told him, I was like, that's a really good. That's a good thing for you. It's a fun thing that keeps you involved. But I told him, I was like, you know what I think helps me is like in game, like I need to gamify this system for myself, like set goals, set achievements I want to hit, and doing that will probably help me push towards it, because that's like how I am on a video game. Like I was sitting there the other day, I pulled out Assassin's Creed, very random niche thing I'm saying, but I pulled out Assassin's Creed, haven't touched the game in a year and a half. I'm looking at it. You don't understand this because you've never played the game. If anybody knows what I'm talking about,
I've walked around in the game.
That's cool. You walked around in the game, but like you zoom out, you pull out the map. Typically, the whole thing is dotted with activities, gold, like all these different things you need to go do and unlock and accomplish. You look at half of the map. The map is completely blank because I literally went through it and just knocked one thing off at a time, literally clearing areas. I don't even know how far I am to the actual campaign. And on that game I looked, I have like 115 hours on the game.
That's insane to me. I could fucking never.
And
I don't have the attention span to sit there and play a video game. I get bored.
Sometimes you do. That is true. No, there are times. But then there's other times where it is more fun, where you get wrapped up in it and then you don't realize where the time went. And you're like, oh, shit.
I do that with TV shows perfectly fine.
I know you do.
But I've never been that way. Like, even like board games when we play with a kid. Because
I want to win. Like, for me,
as
it's
a kid,
like
I would be like,
thing.
oh my gosh, I don't even care anymore. I just want it over. Like, that was me. I would just.
Me, I'm sitting there. I'm like, I want to own as many properties as possible.
No, I gave up at that point. I was like, put me in jail. I go bankrupt. Something. Get me out of this game.
Well, like, that's the thing with, like, let's say Assassin's Creed is I'm sitting here. I'm like, I want to beat the game. Like, the story's fun. I'm enjoying the game. But I also want to find and unlock everything because it makes me more strong in the game. So I'm like, and also I like having all the shit ticked off. And I'm like, if I just did that with my finances and with other stuff, like going to the gym, going doing this, like
I have like a to-do planner that I used for a while.
I would fucking crack on that shit way harder. And I'm like, oh, I need to. So I've been contemplating that, and I'm like, but that's the thing. Like I was like last weekend, I was like, oh, we need to record the podcast. I should do that. And I wasn't like, hey Bailey, I never was like, I never came in here, I never set it up and was like, hey, we're recording, let's do it, and got it done. I just didn't sit down and do it. I talked about it, I never did it, and I'm like, you idiot. Like, it was already gonna go up late, but then it became so late. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna record for this week. And even now, it's Wednesday. It's supposed to already be up, and it's posting. I'm gonna probably try posting it tonight, but like, it's like fuck. I was like, I fucked it.
There's just not enough time in a day.
Sometimes there's not. And like me and Noah's talked to the past, and he's like, food's cool, but like sometimes I wish I didn't have to eat. And I was like, oh no, food's really good. And then now, like, there's been times I'm like, no, you got a point. Like, there are times where I'm like, I kind of wish I didn't have to eat, because there's times I know I need to and I should, and like I just need to get my protein in, or I need to do whatever.
But that's what I've also noticed with like meal prepping. If I do it on the weekend, it's like throughout the week I don't have to do anything besides
it's just
throw
hard to
it
do
in
it
a
on the
microwave.
weekends.
Yeah.
Like I only did that fully successfully once.
Really?
Yeah. Most of the time it was like, most of the time I would eat like something for the first day or two, maybe still have leftovers from the week prior, and then I'd do it on a weeknight, do some stuff, and then that would last me the rest. And then sometimes I'd eat it at night even, and then have some stuff. But like, you go more all out. I'd be like, all right,
your meal prep is, here's a piece of chicken, I'm done. That is not a meal prep to me.
Like,
so
yeah, I'd be like, I got my chicken breast. All right, tomorrow I'm gonna measure out some
chicken breast.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna measure out like cottage cheese and bring in like some of that, or grab a yogurt, or grab like some mandarins, like stuff like that. Like, that's what I'd grab. So,
but like, I'm also the type of person, I like my things laid out the night before. I've always been that way. You are not. So like, when it comes to bringing my lunch, when it comes to bringing my lunch to work, I make sure it's ready in the fridge, in a bag, ready to go. All I have to do is reach. I used to always do this. I still do this. I lay out my clothes every night before I go to bed. Like, if I'm wearing jewelry, I have it out how I want it. Like, makeup, that shit is like out, and I'm ready to go to bed. Like, that's how I have to do it.
True. I know what you mean with that.
You have never been that way.
I know what you mean, but I feel like I need to sometimes. Because I feel like there's times where I'm like, oh, that would actually help my morning go a little faster.
I've told you for how many years, like, lay out your clothes in the morning because you don't like waking up in the morning, and then you can just put your clothes on or stuff for the gym. Having it all ready is so much easier and faster, and you can get out of here in 5 minutes.
Laying out there for the past 2 days, and I haven't gone to the gym. Well, yeah, it's because we stayed up too late. But so like that's some things like going through my head. Like I'm like, oh, I can't wait. Like I wanna get this going. I wanna do the fundraiser because I wanna raise money because it's so cool. I love how we ended up on such a random tangent, and I was talking about a charity, and then somehow we ended up here. But so the thing I was saying though with that was I was like, man, people just don't give fucking money, and it kind of pisses me off. Like, not,
but they give money for stupid shit. Like I saw a TikTok today that was these group of people were going on a, like, teenagers, young adults, whatever. We're going on a trip to Nashville. Says, we're broke. Please help us pay for our trip to Nashville, and had their Venmo.
Yeah.
And people were giving them $150, $100, $50, and I'm like,
bro, if I got that money, that's going in my bank account. I don't give a shit. I ain't going to Nashville no
and
more.
I'm like, when do these people just see him on a highway and are like, yep, here's $100. Don't know who they are. They could be a murderer.
Rich murderer. But but it's like, well, there's that, or then, and I feel like this is definitely a fucking woman thing. Be like, my 21st is this weekend. Here's my Venmo.
Oh,
like,
I hate when people do that. Or it's like, oh, bachelorette party.
It's like, I don't give a fuck.
That's dumb. I'm not asking random people for money.
I really don't care. Like, what?
You're trailing like there's some.
But no, you're fine. I was looking at the audio levels, but it's just like, yeah, it's like, why? Like, if a guy did that, people would be like, fuck off, buy your drinks. Like for my birthday, I had to pay for my own golfing. Like I dished out the fucking $35 or whatever the fuck it was to go golf. Like I didn't.
And it wasn't even your plan.
Not
I thought
originally.
Mom was paying.
No, she didn't pay for my golf. Yeah, like. So it's like when I see people do that, I'm like, it's so fucking like.
I would never. I'm not the type of person. I will not go up to some, like, or expect random people or even people in my family be like, "Can I have $5? Can you pay? You know, can you pay for? I don't know.
That's a good idea.
My car payment.
You know what I should do? I should do that and be like, donate. I should have that on my car. Look at that, like a charity water, like QR code for my link, and be like, go fucking donate here.
Yeah, but where do you drive that people would see it though?
Nowhere. But someone might see it. Like one person. I would take one person doing it. I could literally be like, give to my fundraiser. Like literally, I could do it for the month and just fucking, here's a sticker. Like, you could always try it. It's worth a shot. It's worth a shot. It really is.
People get money for stupider things.
Dumber shit. And that's actually not a bad idea. But that's why I was like, I know our family I guess I don't know. Maybe some of our family members do give some money. I don't fucking know because no one talks about money. It's taboo. But it's like, I was like, I'd much rather give my money to charity water than like our church. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because think about it. Because grandma and grandpa, every week that they go to church, they give money.
They give money to church. That's it. As far as I'm aware. And so it's like, I kind of wish I could go to your shit and be like, I know you don't have any money, but I'm making you donate $1 a month to charity water. Bing, done. Because it's like, that's not going to kill you. You can survive without $1 a month. $12 a year. I pay for your fucking Spotify. So you can dish out $12 a year. I would love to go to like Mom and Adam's phone and be like, $5. I don't give a shit. Like, you have $5 a month.
They're budgeting.
I don't give a fuck. $5 a month to people in Africa or all around the world. Go to Dad, be like $5 a month. Go to grandparents, $5 a month.
I feel like Dad would be more apt about it than the people over there.
I know, but it's just like, I wish I could force people into it, because it's like, one, I can tell you right now, once I sign them up, they would completely fucking forget about it until they got an email for like their taxes being like, here's your $55 tax return information. Like, that'd be it. And they'd be like, oh, I forgot I did that. And then maybe they would actually donate more. Because it's like,
you want to know something?
That's one reason why they created like the spring, which is what I do, like the monthly thing, is because they're like, oh, well, that's a easy way to get money repeatedly. It's better than one-time donations. And two, like, subscriptions are everywhere now. Like, they threw this out in 2020, so they were actually on top of it pretty quickly. And it makes sure that they have an idea of how much money they're going to raise next year, because they can be like, okay, we have this amount of people scheduled basically for the next year to give this amount. So we already have a rough idea of what we're working with next year. we're not fully relying on fundraisers and donations.
That's pretty nice.
So it's not a
I
bad
mean,
idea.
something that I've always, speaking of like fundraisers and shit, I mean, this isn't a fundraiser, but it's like a community service thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to help in a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do that. I haven't done it, and I feel bad for not doing it.
True, but there's also not. There's food shelters around.
There's a homeless shelter in Indy.
In Indy, but I'm saying not like close. Like you would have to go a good 45 minutes.
I feel
to an
like
hour.
there might be one in like Noblesville or Carmel or something.
I've never seen
Because
a homeless person down there.
I thought Riley did something like
He was
that.
in Indy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he was closer. I've always wanted to do it. I just haven't actually done it, and I
know.
should.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, cause I mean, I loved helping with all the food pantries and stuff, but I've actually like wanted to like serve
do
and
something.
like
Yeah.
And then like Mom and them, I guess one year for Thanksgiving they had at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, Mom. Yeah, I think Mom.
And I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know either. Yeah, no, I get that, and that's where I'm like, I kind of like this because it's almost like a thoughtless giving, but I'm still happy that's there. Like I can look in every now and again and be like, cool, I can't believe I donated that much. Like I want to, like eventually I was like, I would love to see that number be over 200,000, like even off of what I've donated or combined raised. Like I want to eventually see that number hit 1 million, like in my lifetime. It's like if I'm giving money monthly until I'm fucking 80, that I mean that's something to be proud of and nothing to be upset about. Like if there's anywhere I'm sending money, it's that, and it's worth a while. It's like anybody can give money away. Like it's like people give money to companies all the time, almost on a daily, that they probably don't need, but they want it. And so it's like people take money for granted half the time. And I've realized I've done that recently. And I'm like, oh, I really gotta like focus on this shit. But so we've rambled a lot.
Yeah.
Here, I guess let's get on a couple topics. I might save the one for later. I don't honestly. I might fucking save it for later. But one thing, Noah is here Friday, so I might have him on next week. We'll see. I don't know. I think we might for him. I'll tell you guys beforehand. He's only here 2 weeks. We might record like 5 episodes and just dish them out eventually, like because we talked about stuff to do, and I kind of want to text him and be like, "Would you be down to do this sometime? Like you're here 2 weeks."
I want to know, what is he doing when he's home?
I don't know. I think just enjoying it. Like I think hanging out with family, graduation parties, like stuff like that. I
know
he's
has he decided? I know he mentioned he wants to come back for fair.
I don't know. I actually don't know, but because I told him like, well, we did the podcast together on Zoom, which now I could use this for Zoom, so my quality would not be shit. But like we talked about doing stuff because I was like, oh man, I haven't drank with someone on the podcast. That could make a podcast very interesting. Literally just sitting here and drinking a little bit while we talk.
Mm-hmm.
Or I would love to do like the ramen again and like make that
on
like a
podcast,
thing. Oh yeah, I think that'd be ridiculous. Or even doing like our own spicy wings, or like doing something like, I feel like, I don't know, like doing something along those lines I feel like would be kind of fun. Like and he's down, so I'm kind of like, well, we might record like, he's here 2 weeks, we might record like 4 episodes, so like one normal one and then like a few with some other shit involved. But so I'm excited for that. But then not only that, I've gotten you into Game of Thrones a little bit. I can't tell if you are actually into it at all. You just are
I mean, I am.
All I've noticed is you're like, fuck that incest bitch, fuck the queen, like that's it. Like
yeah, I like it so far. It's picking up.
You're on season 3, so you're a third of the way through.
I'm starting. I don't know if I'm struggling with keeping up with the characters and their names, and I think it's because there's so many different kingdoms and places that I'm trying to remember who's where, what's their name, what they're like. I remember. Is it Kahani? No. What's her name? Shit. Like.
Blonde-haired woman.
Yeah.
Go.
I I don't know. That's who I'm trying to think of. What do they call her?
queen's
Khaleesi or Khaleesi.
Yeah.
And then you have Jon, which is the
Daenerys,
easiest for me to remember.
Jon, I don't know why he's in the show the least at this point.
I know, but it's just because it's a normal name compared to everybody else.
True.
And then, the redhead daughter starts with an S.
Sansa.
And then I did know
The two brothers. Go. The two little ones.
not a chance. The one starts with the D, right? I don't know.
Bren and
But I did what, and then Arya.
Yeah, Arya.
Which Arya and Jon, I think right now are my favorite.
And then you got
And the little guy. Talus? No.
what? No.
That's from the book I just read.
Who? What?
You've
That's
met
not a
him
name.
in the third book.
Talus. No, I'm confused. Shut up. Don't ruin the book for me.
The imp, they call him.
Yeah, the imp.
What the hell is his name?
Tyrion. Tyrion Lannister. Then you got Jaime. And then
Which
you got,
I know Jaime.
And
then now you have the big guard.
Tyrion and
See, yesterday I was thinking about this, and I had a list of people that I actually remembered, and then now that we talk about it, I can't remember
there is a lot of
person.
names, but I like you show me a picture, I'd be like, yep. And probably if I saw the picture, I feel like I would be able to name them off easier, actually. But yeah, there is a lot, but I don't feel like it's that complicated. Like
For me, it is.
The first season, yes,
because
100%.
it's also completely different than any show that I've ever watched.
True.
All of my shows have remained in the same genre, same type of thing.
Yeah, this is really different for you.
And this is way different.
That's actually true. I never thought about that. But
it's also, I've also noticed, because stuff that they say in the movie or in like Game of Thrones kind of goes with the book.
Yeah, I know.
That we're reading. And so I'd be like, oh, this is in the book. Oh, they're saying it here. And I would connect those things when I finished the last book. And I was like,
mm-hmm.
And I want them to make a movie out of that so bad.
That's true.
It said, I looked it up, it said that they had a contract in 2017 to make the movie, and I wondered if it just didn't happen because of COVID, or if they just
probably part of it.
X-nayed it entirely.
They could have X-nayed it.
But I really think that this book series could be a very good movie if they get the right people.
Probably. Let's say it turned out to be like Avatar, The Last Airbender or something, and ruined it. But no, yeah, I understand the show. Like that's the thing. I watched the whole show in 10 days.
I totally, I know you did that, but I totally forgot that you did that when I was home for break.
Yeah, you realize how crazy that is?
Yeah, because episodes are an hour long.
Uh-huh. I was up till 1:30 every night, laying in bed from 9:30 to 1 on my phone, watching the TV show. So, that's how bad it was, Bailey. And then I was watching at least an episode or two while I was at work. Piecing it throughout the day. Being like, ooh.
Which, also, this season, we just started the third season,
mm-hmm.
I would watch.
You saw bits and pieces.
And saw bits and pieces when you watched it. So, the first episode that we watched last night.
You recognized it, yeah.
I remember most of that episode. I feel like I sat down to watch it with you, even though because there was a couple times that you, I came in and sat down and I watched.
I think because I was like, hey, look at this.
In the middle of, the season. So, I obviously didn't know what was going on, but
you just saw
I know
bits.
for a fact the one episode that we watched, Season 3, episode 1.
Yeah, because you would ask me some
I've
questions,
watched the whole
and then
thing.
The funny thing is, I would tell you, I'd be like, that's this, and this is going on. That's what's going on. And then now we're sitting here, and you keep asking me questions. I'm like, I'm not going to fucking answer your questions. Just
even though sometimes I don't even ask the questions, and you just tell me, by the way, Jon doesn't remain a virgin.
Haha. That's not a question, really.
I didn't ask the question.
I know.
You just made...
Jude gets some girls. But,
which I figured.
Yeah.
I figured something was going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, look at him.
Yeah. But
I was also kind of shocked about Rob getting married like that.
True, but you also got to realize in the show, it's if you don't pay attention close to the timeline, it spreads out pretty well. I mean, at this point, you're on season 3. Total time frame is probably almost a year from when the first, the start of the season is.
Mm-hmm.
The start of the show. So, by season 3, it's probably been slightly over a year because you've dealt with, Khaleesi's full pregnancy. Pretty much like she was. Well, I don't think she wasn't at 9 months, but she was at least she was at least halfway through, if not more. So that gives a good time frame. Also, like the travel from like King's Landing in the beginning, that was like they said like a month trip, especially with like a full caravan. So like that gives you rough ideas. So you gotta like pick up on like time changes. So it's like, yeah, in the whole show it's probably been almost a year. And then like I was talking to someone today about it because I told him we were watching it, whatever. And like Tyrion was only hand to the king for probably like 3 weeks or a month. But
he did real good. That's like.
But when I watched it, for some reason, rewatching it now, I was like, I felt like he was in it for so much longer.
That's
like,
what I thought.
I was like, oh man, I feel like it was forever. But it's like sitting here now, it's like, no,
it
yeah,
makes sense.
like it wasn't even a full season, and he was out of the chair. And so yeah, like a lot happens in the show. Like there's so much that happens. Like it's so hard to explain. Where it's like it just seems to get crazier and crazier as the show progresses, and it's like you see why it was like the #1 TV show of basically the past decade. It was like that or Big Bang Theory, and I think just off of what this is, it beats out Big Bang Theory 100%. Big Bang Theory was the biggest sitcom, but it was not the biggest TV show.
Yeah.
Like this show when it was coming out was wild, and that's the thing. Like yeah, the beginning is so fucking slow. Like it took me at least the first season to start to understand season and a half to really characters. I think I learned fairly quickly, but more to understand where the fuck they're talking about, where things are, and like picture it in my head to be like, okay, so they're talking about this area. I kind of know where that means, like on a map in my head. I'm like, okay, so that's here. This is there. This is what's going on. When they are talking about this is where they're at.
See, you pay more attention to that shit. I don't care about the location. Like, I don't care what continent they're on.
Yeah, but that has to do with the show. Like,
I mean, yes and no. You don't have to know, hey, they're on this continent.
Well, there's not 7 in the fucking show like there are for here. It's like, and also, there's context clues to our shit. You know where the fuck you are. You're like, oh, well, that's Asia, obviously, because there's a lot of Asians. Like, I don't, like, you know what I mean? Like, huh? So, what you just said?
I don't know.
Like, you can watch a show and they don't have to tell you the location, but you can be like, oh, yeah, that's London. Like, and obviously.
You can?
But not on this, because it's fantasy. That's the whole point. If you're doing a regular show that's based in like a fictional historical fiction, you know where the fuck it is because you can be like, oh yeah, that is New York City. Like you don't gotta think about it. Whereas like that, you're like, wait, so where is everybody?
I'm not thinking about it. That's the thing.
Okay, I don't sit there. I'm like, where is everybody at in the show? I just know. Oh, he's like 5 miles away. Like no, I don't I don't pull out a fucking map and a thing.
Oh,
and, like,
they would be here in real life.
Walk it across. Like I'm like, oh, that's like 30 miles from one another. Like I'm not doing that, but I'm like, okay, so someone says King's Landing. This is where this is. When someone says the Fray, I know where that is roughly. I know where Winterfell is. I know where the Wall is. So like you kind of got some references in your head. Like, okay, I know she's over on the other side of the world. I know kind of where. Like I looked up maps because I was like, where is this that they're referencing? So I kind of know what the fuck they're talking about. Like I was like, where's Pentos? Where's Bravos? Like where's some of these cities that they talk about but you don't necessarily see for a long time? I'm like, where is this shit? So I like can construct the world in my head. It's also like even the same with like the book. You just finished this book series. I look at the map because I'm like, I want to know the layout of what shit means. You're so fucking weird. I just realized this. You're weird. But I didn't just realize this. But like but it's like for me, I'm like, okay, when they talk about these places, I want to know representation of where this is. Like that's just me. I'm like, okay, when they're talking about, oh, they're moving through this mountain range. I'm like, oh, where is that in relation to the story? Like how far have they actually gone?
It says in the book, we've traveled for this long. It takes this long to get there. That's all I need to know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they might say that, but then I'm like, okay, so where's the commandant again? Like, where's this person at? Where are they at exactly? Oh, they traveled here. But like, if you never saw the map, it would be kind of hard to construct it in your head. So it's like when someone actually draws out a map for a fantasy world, I'm like, oh, this helps so much more because like it's kind of cool. Like, okay, I guess, okay, I watched Lord of the Rings as a kid. I didn't pull up a fucking map to see where it was. And honestly, it might have helped because then I would have realized, holy shit, these fuckers like
I don't even remember half the shit that happens in Lord of the Rings.
True. But because we watched it young. But I'm like, you if you don't look at a map, you don't realize like, holy fuck, like it's so ridiculous. Like it's wild, like how it's all laid out. And then also in my head, I find it fascinating that someone wrote about this and created this whole idea of this world.
I could never write a book. I could never do what these people are like, make up fantasy shit like that. It would not go well. I would write 5 pages. I can't even write a paper for school, let alone a whole damn book.
That's true. So you're watching that. You practically okay. So I like forced you to kind of get into this. So if anything, this is payback for you, like forcing me to watch some of your fucking TV shows back in the day when I actually like. I had more resentment to your shows. Like yours.
Some of them you liked.
It's not that I didn't like them, but also, now I say this, I'm doing this to you right now. But it's the only thing you watched. But like you would rewatch. And also an episode like this is almost like watching a little movie, and it's like also really, really intriguing. Like because there's so many storylines where yours would be like, I want to watch Psych, and it's a cop show basically, and it's like a weird, goofy,
there is a
thing.
couple cop shows that I watched multiple times through that once the episode starts, I know exactly what's going to happen. I know I could probably like for Monk, Psych, and Mentalist, I could probably quote almost every episode.
Between that and then also it's just like yeah, I guess there sometimes is an overarching storyline for those like TV shows, but not always. It's also very like episode based half the time. Where, like this one kind of is. But it's like there's so many storylines between so many characters,
in an episode,
so that it's it like is more intriguing. I feel like because it's like I said last night, you're like, oh yeah, you might not see anybody for maybe an episode or 2, depending, and then all of a sudden you're back to him and you're like, oh shit, I forgot. Like, well, this
like
is
last night I was like, oh, here's John. We haven't seen John in a while on his little excursion. Across the wall. Yeah,
exactly. So like there's a lot that happens in the show where like it's more intriguing, and then also I feel like Game of Thrones. I feel like you could have someone that's just like, I'm not into this. But also I'd kind of be like, why? It has a little bit of everything. Like, I don't know why you would dislike
romance, action, mystery.
It's just wild. Like,
fantasy.
Yes. Where it's like, your show is like, it's fairly repetitive. Like, or maybe you're not into the comedy. Or maybe you're just like, the storyline's kind of, like, whatever. Like, there'd be more of a reason to be like, yeah, this show just isn't for me. You know what I mean?
I mean, I get it.
Where I feel like, because it's more categorically based. It's like comedy, crime show. Or then you would go crime show, just crime show. And then you go another one, Monk, comedy, crime show at the same time. Like another really weird one. Whereas like this one's like, it literally, I don't even know if you could describe it because it's like you said, fantasy, romance, like drama. Like it just has like action, like everything wrapped into one show. It's like every category you could check off, it's probably there. Like there might be rap at one point in the show and I don't even know it. Like so it just is like super
turns
intriguing.
into a musical number.
Imagine. I don't think that happens, but no, it doesn't. But okay, so we just did like a big rant. There's a few things we can talk about next time. We can watch 2 things. So we're We're actually gonna record this weekend. I promise you that. I'm sorry, guys. I feel so bad, but we watched. I'll just say it now. The little teaser. We watched Jelly Roll's documentary. We'll talk about that next episode. So you got something to look forward to. Also, Yes Theory finally released their documentary thing on their Antarctic. The dude that did the Antarctic triathlon. So like run a marathon, bike 40 miles, and swim 6 that they did on Antarctica. It's finally released to the public, and you can buy it and watch it on their website. Because like they did it in theaters, but the closest theater was in Cincinnati, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm not driving to Cincinnati on a Tuesday night to go watch this, even though I'd love to watch it. So that's something we need to watch, and I think that would be really cool. So that's something else you guys can look forward to, and we can talk about on the next episode. But, what?
Are you wanting to do the card?
No, it's what we know. But so hopefully I'll stay on this. I'll start posting shorts. Got a lot of stuff to do. Hopefully we'll see. Hopefully I get a co-host eventually. I got to make a proposition. But if you guys need a house, let me know. But other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'm just going to remind you guys to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It is much appreciated, and I will see you guys all in the next episode. Peace out, everybody. Peace out.